Nowadays, stress is a common word we hear, like your mom, "I'm so stressed from work," or your dad, "these taxes stress me." But what is stress, and why does it happen? Stress is actually a human response to a perceived threat. It helped us a lot when we were in danger. Basically, our adrenaline responses are increased, our heart rate increased, we start breathing faster, fight or flight response kicks in. But if you didn't notice, we're not in old times now. We have saved lives. Everyone has stress. Your family has it. Your friends have it. You might have it once in a while.
There are 3 different types of stress. There's acute stress, episodic acute stress, and chronic stress. Acute stress is very minor, but is also common. It happens when there's merely something that ticks you off, or maybe something like a homework assignment. Episodic acute stress is when you are continually stressed over and over again, whether it be because of school, because of family reasons, etc. Chronic stress is the type of stress that can lead to depression. It's the most severe type. It is usually followed by traumatic events in your early childhood or so on. Some symptoms of stress are insomnia, pain, low energy, frequent illness, and a lot more. The more stressed you are, the higher chance of getting depression. If not treated correctly, can make your depression worse. Stress can affect how you feel, think, and act. Or it can also affect your ability to be able to identify stress symptoms.
Now I know stress sounds like a big, huge monster that's eventually going to come and eat you up, but listen, there are ways to prevent stress. There are ways to manage stress, such as exercise, yoga, deep breathing, and socializing, as weird as it sounds. Now that I've told you about all the bad types of stress and how to help them, I'm going to talk about the good type of stress, namely the eustress. Eustress is a normal, moderated stress that is beneficial for the experiencer. A good example of eustress would be a roller coaster ride. The girl on the right is thoroughly enjoying the roller coaster ride. The boy on the left, however, not so much. Communication is an important aspect of our daily lives.
Communication is the ability to communicate with peers.
For example, you communicate with your mom when you say what you want for lunch. "I want a bologna sandwich for lunch."
Have
For
eye
example,
contact and show that you are paying
communication
attention.
is present almost everywhere in our daily lives. You might be thinking, "Hey, it's kind of important I get this thing right." If you're thinking that, then you're right. Communication is quite an important skill to have. Now, communication might sound pretty hard to do, but in reality, it's quite easy if you just put all your attention into it. In fact, part of good communication is putting all your attention onto the other speaker. If you listen, it'll show that you care for your friend, your colleague, your boss, your teacher, whatever you're trying to say, you care.
Being a good listener can lead to better communication.
Now that we've gotten past the listening part, there's the talking part. And, well, that can get kinda complicated, but with the 3 C's, you'll be okay. What are the 3 C's? They're basically guidelines for what you do when you're speaking to others.
Be clear, concise, and complete. Have a friendly tone to show you mean well. Give feedback and be respectful.
Most importantly, look others in the eye when you are talking or listening. What is compassion? To first understand that, we will need to understand what are values. Values are moral guidelines that a person has. Every person has a different set of values. Values are built through your own experiences in life. Compassion is kindness towards others, including strangers. Compassion is responsible for all the sweet stories you hear on the news, the ones that aren't so bad. Both compassion and values are part of a person's character. Compassion helps strengthen your relationships with others. Everyone appreciates compassion. When someone is a bully, it either means they haven't received much compassion or they don't feel too good about themselves. You've probably heard of self-esteem before. Self-efficacy, however, is much less heard of. Now that might sound like the same thing, but in reality, it isn't. Self-esteem is your general sense of self-worth. Self-efficacy is your belief in yourself to get tasks done. While self-esteem and self-efficacy are not the same, they are very closely related, as one affects the other. Self-esteem is a spectrum, with extreme high and low ends. Self-esteem can lead you to make very bad decisions. Self-esteem can play a significant role in your motivation and success throughout life. People with a high sense of self-efficacy view problems as challenges to be mastered. They also develop deeper interest in the activities in which they participate. People who have low self-efficacy run away from difficult situations and believe that difficult tasks are too much for them.